So Netflix has dropped a banger courtesy Aryan Khan in his directorial debut, who's absolutely smashed it out of the park. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today, before the second Hindi film that was out this weekend, the content that we are going to be talking about is the new Netflix show which is called The Badge of Bollywood. The Badge of Bollywood, which marks the directorial debut of Aryan Khan. And I was quite looking forward to this show because, as a film critic, I am on the fringes of the industry, I would say. And so I know the workings of the industry and how it works. Although I'm not a part of the core industry, but like all critics, we all are a part of the fringe, you can say, the fringes that are there. And so I was quite looking forward to what this show has to offer, and it actually surprised me with the kind of humor and the brand of humor that it presented through the show. Now, first thing, I was just thinking as to which are the films or the content that is being made in, you can say, Bollywood, about Bollywood, and I could think of three such content which was there. One was Om Shanti Om, which was the Farah Khan film. The other was Zoya Akhtar's debut directorial feature, which was Luck by Chance, and third was a lesser known show called Industry. Now, if I have to categorize it, if the left extreme is Om Shanti Om and the right extreme is Luck by Chance, or somewhere in between is also Industry, the Badge of Bollywood has a perfect balance between the two. It's somewhere in between as a show because it has that zany or the campy humor that you would expect from a Farah Khan film, but it also has a sharp satire that you would see in a Zoya Akhtar film. It's that perfect balance that the show exhibits, which is so beautiful to witness. And you see that in the opening sequence itself, in which you are introduced, to the character of Asman, and Asman again is a metaphor for sky, where sky is the limit. A rank outsider who is, has to perform his own stunts after a fight master, near fatally has an injury on the film set. And I think Asman already knew that this was probably going to be one of his final chances. If the film shuts, he would again be on the streets of Warsaw auditioning or doing some work or the other. And so when he does that and his film becomes a success, it's almost like that coming of age moment for him in the industry. Even in that scene which he actually performs a stunt on, you see that he bursts to the sky, almost like, piercing through the nepotism sort of a clout which is there in the industry, which the industry is known for. There's nothing to hide in it. And when an outsider tries to come in and actually, pierces through it, that is when, an outsider makes it big. And there are many names, particularly when I'm talking about Bollywood or the Hindi film industry. But more specifically, if I have to come to the story and screenplay, The Badge of Bollywood is essentially, you can say, a comedy of sorts, or you can say a satire of sorts, whichever you want to choose, on the whereabouts of the industry as viewed from the gaze of Asma, which is played by Lakshya. Lakshya, by the way, you would remember him from the film Kill. Now, one of the interesting aspects is the dynamics which are there. So Lakshya has just about given a hit film in the form of a surprise hit film, you can say, in the form of Revolver, for a legacy production house called Sodawala, which is headed by the head honcho Freddy Sodawala. Now Freddy Sodawala gaslights Asman into a 3-film contract. At the same time, Karan Johar is impressed by Asma, particularly during the roundtable conference which is there, which is a direct spin-off of the Ananya Pandey and Siddharth Chaturvedi infamous roundtable with Rajiv Masan, which had taken place, the outsider-insider debate that had started in that little roundtable for newcomers, which is there. He's, Karan Johar is fascinated by the arrogance of, Asman, and therefore, you see him almost like, okay, I'm going to cast you in my film. At the same time, the couple which he wants to couple Asman with is the same person who's at the receiving end of that round table, which is Karishma, played by Sheher Bamba. And Sheher Bamba is the daughter of yesteryear superstar Ajay Talwar. This is the basic story which is there, and Ajay Talwar, like all fathers, does not want his daughter to get involved with Asman, a rank outsider, nobody in the industry. This is the basic structure. Now, if I have to just narrow it down a little as far as the story is concerned, the Bads of Bollywood works on two levels. One is the frivolous top layer and a satirical bottom layer. And the top layer, you see many cameos that are there. You see the cameo of Shah Rukh Khan, who gets, almost, you can say, very infuriated when somebody calls him Ghante Ka Badshah, in a way that he did not recognize, and he thought it was Badshah the singer, a character thought. In another scene, you see Salman Khan, randomly pissed at a party and, almost being irritated at that. That is another cameo. And you see Amir Khan's cameo with Rajamouli. You, at a distance, you see them discussing something animatedly. And when you come closer, you get to know that they are having a discussion on idli sambar or vada pav. It's a hilarious kind of a anecdote, so to say, about the discussions that happen in the film industry, which is not always fruitful, so to say. And when you view it from a distance, you feel that, oh, there's a lot of intense work that is going on. So that is the top layer. Another favorite, one of my favorite top layer scenes was the introduction of Imran Hashmi as the intimacy coordinator. Imran Hashmi, as you know, is the serial kisser of Bollywood. And that was a hilarious film because Parvez, who plays the entourage friend of Asman, is very fascinated by him. He's a fanboy, and he actually goes to sing one of the songs of Murder in that sequence. It's quite hilarious. The fluff doesn't end there. There's another sequence involving Rajkumar Rao and Arjun Kapoor, who almost play similar versions of Akshay Kumar and Abhishek Bachchan from Om Shanti Om. And how they had that tryst in that awards function night which is there. So these are the moments which are there. There's another one which is regarding Mahib, who tells her daughter Shanaya not to behave like Aryan Khan, because she isn't smiling, she's frowning in front of the camera, which is quite hilarious. One of my other favorites was in the first episode, in which Sameer Wankhede look-alike cop comes in and says Bollywood is a druggies party going on. It's absolutely ridiculous, which is there. And actually that formulates the top layer. But there's a bottom layer as well, which has a satire that is going on. It's an intelligent satire of the dark secrets of the industry, which is played out in a very, you can say, a very playful manner, in a way, you can say. In one of the scenes, you see a character, a yesteryear's producer, randomly telling another character on how women would line up in front of his bedroom as a Me Too movement of yesteryear. That even me too, even I want to, so to do whatever act with you. There's another scene involving a character who's watching something on VR with certain actions that he's doing, which I cannot say in this video, but it's a hilarious scene which actually tells you certain things about how the servants or the maids in the households of Bollywood, they're looked down upon, and I think that is something that again is another sort of a satire which is there. Another character in another scene tells you that it's not such a bad thing that you're going to jail. People become popular after going to jail, which is another little anecdote as far as the satire is concerned. And so these are the moments which are there between fluff and satire, which is nicely balanced in the show, an entire show. Now the crux of the film majorly deals with the relationship between Karishma and Asman, a rank outsider with a insider and a nepo baby, so to say. And there's another equation that goes on between Asman and Parvez, who's almost like MC Sher and Murad, the vibe that you get of Gully Boy, which is there, which then actually brings me to the finale. And the finale had such a twist that, oh my god, I didn't see it coming at all. But then in hindsight, and many people will be shocked by this twist, there's no looking, it may divide the viewers too. But I was just thinking about it, and I just kept on thinking about it, and it made more and more sense with respect to the title of the show and with respect to the events that unfolded until then. Everything that unfolded until then became irrelevant after a point, and I think that was the crux, you can say, of the show as well, that everything is fake in Bollywood, everything doesn't work exactly the way it should work, and whatever you see isn't necessarily that you need to believe in everything which is there. Of course, there are power dynamics that are represented through certain characters, like the character of Freddy, or a forgotten character who's just sidelined from the industry, which is played by Rajat Bedi, or even the one who has the power in his hands, called Ajay Talwar, Bobby Deol in this character. But all of it's still a fun show, and I absolutely enjoyed the brain rot comedy also that was done, which was done with a lot of awareness. There was a lot of self-aware deprecating humor which is there in the show that I really liked. I really enjoyed the show. There were meta references that are there, with so many cameos in the act. There's also another angle involving a gangster, by the way, who goes by the name Gafur, and every time he comes in there's a song that is played out, and even the gangster gets so irritated in the first show that he has to kill another person for that. So I think good screenplay. I think it was a wonderful screenplay, a nice little balance that is there, slightly more outrageous also, but I think that is the tone of the show. Now, coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music, and the direction, I think the dialogues are also very well written, very intelligently written, with the brand of humor that it wants to exhibit. For instance, as the character Parvez in a scene with Ranveer Singh tells him that, I'm a fan, and so I'm going to gift you a watch of my own so that you remember your fan. But in the next moment he flips and he actually says something about Imran Hashmi. So it just goes well in sync with the theme of the show, so to say. The music and the BGM also nicely spice up the drama. They add to the glitz and glam of the world which is created here, and I think that made for a nice little watch as well. The cinematography, I think, also had some lovely transition shots also. I think that was something that the makers, in this case Aryan Khan, had something in mind, that the series should not look patchy or choppy, and so there's a transition shot. So if there is a shot within the vicinity of a home and the next scene is in a club, there will be an ice that is dropped into a glass, and that is a transition shot before the characters take it ahead in the new setting. I think that's very intelligent, of the transition that happens from one scene to another. Many people don't write that. I think that is something that many people do not write, that which makes the drama patchy. But here it's taken care of. Even the cinematography, I think, captures the glitz and the glam wonderfully well. Editing is pretty good as well. It's bingeable at the end of the day. So if you start the first episode, you're going to go on and on and on until the show is over right at the end. Director Aryan Khan, I think he's done a wonderful job here in his debut outing. I'm so happy for that kid, because it's never easy to be a son of a superstar, and no matter what you do, you are going to be compared with your father. Case in point being Abhishek Bachchan. He's a good actor, but he's always compared, always under the shadow of his superstar father, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, and I think that is that. But glad Aryan Khan chose a unique way into the industry with his directorial venture. He's also written it, by the way. He's directed it, and he's done such a wonderful job, and it helps that he's an insider. He understands the world that he's presenting on screen, and I think that is something that is a big win as far as the direction is concerned. The characterization, the world building, the setup, the insider versus outsider debates. There are so many meta references and satires to be discovered in the film, on the show rather, I'm sorry. So that it actually makes for an indulgent watch. It's an indulgent watch at the end of the day, and I quite enjoyed myself in that. It's very entertaining, and also, as I said, given that my close proximity to the industry, I also could relate to some of the satires that it was trying to present. It's quite hilarious in that sense. Coming to the performances, I think all the performances definitely make a mark. I'm just going to name a few of them because there are plenty of actors and I cannot name everybody. Rajat Bedi does a good job, in his comeback role. I haven't seen him much since a long time, but he had that little homage from Koi Mil Gaya. and said yaad aaya ab. So I think that was a nice little quirky, insight into his world, that it's been a while since Koi Mil Gaya is out. It's been 2 decades, but then he's making his way back into the industry, almost playing a meta reference or a self-deprecating humor on himself, through his character. Wonderfully well done. Manish Chaudhary also is a wonderful character. He hams his way through the character, but he just automatically adds so much humor with his body language and antics that I absolutely loved his performance. Manish Chaudhary was wonderful as Freddy Sodawala in the show, and glad that it was not a caricature of a Parsi, and Sodawala is a Parsi, and I was closely looking at that. It's not a caricature. I could pass this performance any day. So I'm good. I'm happy with that. I think Seher Bamba also has a good personality on screen, and she does a wonderful job here. Um, Nice understated performance. Likewise, even Anya Singh as Sania, the manager of Asman, does a wonderful job. I think she does a smashing job in this show as well. Well within herself, very organically getting into the skin of a character and doing a lovely little job. I also like Bobby Deol on the show. Very macho, very manly sort of a character, intimidating with his power tussle or whatever he has, but at the same time his antics are justified at the end of the show as to why his character is over the top. And I think that is a big win as far as the performance is concerned as well. I really like that as well. Mona Singh and Vijayant Kohli, Manoj Pava, wonderful performers, all three of them, and they each have their moments to shine throughout the show in whichever capacity that they would have. The star of the show for me is not Laksh, but it is Raghav. Raghav Juyal is the star of the show. Oh my god, the man is fluid as far as comedy is concerned. Going from one punch to another and almost surrendering and giving his eccentricity for the brand of humor that the show exhibits. And this is not to say that Laksh is bad. Laksh is great as well, and Laksh does a wonderful job. In fact, both the Kill boys, kill it here. Both the Kill boys, both from the movie Kill, I would want to say. Laksh has a nice boyish charm and has the personality of a leading man, and I think he does a wonderful job. Solid job done as far as the performances are concerned. It's a dual kind of a performance, because you have to you also have to manage the home, and you also have to manage your job as an outsider, and I think this is that dilemma that the character of Asman faces, and I think he does a pretty solid job. Apart from that, all cameos, I loved all cameos. Imran Hashmi, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan, I even like Ranveer Singh or Ranveer Kapoor was also there. All of them, I think all of them made their mark in some way or the other. SS Rajamouli sir was there. Um, Nice little cameo. I think everyone collectively came together, and this is the Bollywood that I really wish, that it makes more such stories, makes certain, shows that, or films, or content rather, which are, reflective of the times that we are living in, as far as the film industry is concerned. I think that was done very well with Luck by Chance. Zoya Akhtar hit it out of the park. I could almost watch that film even today and relate to it all the more, since now I'm a part of the industry. When I'd watched it earlier in 2009, I wasn't, but now I am, so I could relate to that better. There's another show called Industry, which is directed by Navjot Gulati, which also has a similar kind of theme to it, although not as zany. It has a more serious drama with hints of comedy, but done well. Even Om Shanti Om, in whatever campy humor, brain rot comedy that it wants to be, it still clicks in today's times, in the times of Reels. I think it was ahead of its time in 2007, I think it was when it reached. Likewise, The Bads of Bollywood, I really liked. It's almost like a ballad of Bollywood, It's like a ballad of Bollywood, which is hilarious in many ways. It boasts of good performances, and I think it's supremely entertaining at the end of the day. No matter what relatability or the genre shifting outrageousness that you see on the show, it is all reflective of the industry, which is not always the truth of whatever you see. And I think that's a hidden commentary somewhere in between, which is very self aware on the part of Aryan Khan, the filmmaker. So, highly recommended. The Bads of Bollywood. I am super happy with the show, and if you watch the show, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Remember to like/dislike this video. You can also share this video with your friends and family. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Gigi family together. My detailed review of The Bads of Bollywood is available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with the double S, the link of which is in the description box below. You can also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, and Nokia. All captions are available on my social media handles. My detailed reviews with the rating and the review can be translated in the language of your choice. All of that is available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with the double S. I'll see you again soon with another video. I have already watched Jolly LLB, so I'll get to that video either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. But make sure you comment on what was the best part of your show, whether it was a cameo or something that you really loved. I had multiple scenes that I can watch it again and I would still laugh it out. And there's a little adult humor also, but it's still funny. So I think you can also share your views in the comment section. Let's keep it civil, and let's have a discussion on that around. I'll see you again soon with another video. Till then, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.